The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water. Them him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea, though I rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepare a table before I in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head with uno oil, me cup runner to over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I even. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Kadama we grumabe te la higzag beer tana istalina bashante shante 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 kadama we grumabe te la where twos and threes meeting in the name of the most I there's so Jaja there. If Jaja never build up your other builder, I go build it in the same way. If Jaja never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is saved. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks, and I give thanks, and I give thanks. How ma usogbo Lisa? I don't know what to. I was sick player 4. How ma usogbo Lisa? Akpe kaka. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. In my name. Black Rasta. In every traditional African home, there is a Blakk Pot, and each time this Blakk Pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous, super nutritious cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes, colors, aromas, and even flavors. Abandon, relegate to the background all their differences and relocate into the Blakk Pot to be subjected to some amount of heating. They produce food so nutritious, so tantalizing, so sumptuous. Ironically, they do not even partake in the eating of the food. Yet every time they rise to the occasion to produce food for the eaters to eat. What lesson can we pick from this? A lesson of selflessness. How many people will not be part of the sacrifice as long as they personally do not benefit from that? How many of us will not go on the journey as long as we do not personally benefit from that journey? How many people think that one man dying to save millions is useless? They will never risk their life to save millions. Are you ready to lay down your lives so millions of people can survive? If there was a decree that one man could save 1 trillion people, are you ready to lay down your life? Or no, everybody should go down? How many of us think that there's enough food, let's eat it all today, after all tomorrow we die? How many people think that let's only think about today, for tomorrow shall take care of itself? It's a show of selflessness, a show of patriotism, a show of the mindset. It's called the Blakk Pot. Now, if the average African mindset is right, every other thing will be righted. People will build roads, schools, hospitals without waiting for the government to come around and build these things. If the average mindset of the Ghanaian, the Nigerian, the Togolese is right, every other thing shall fall in place. We betray each other all because upstairs is not right. The mindset is wrong. We steal from our own nations all because the mindset is sick. We look down on each other. Tribalism is killing us all because the mindset is wrong. This is the right show. If this is what you're looking for, you can find it here. Here we don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism. We don't do religion, and at the same time we don't do sports. We concentrate on Pan-Africanism, patriotism, the mindset. At independence, Kwame Nkrumah told us, now that you have your independence, the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the whole of Africa. And before we could rest, he said, now that you have your independence, we have to change our attitudes now. Have we changed our attitudes? Or we are still backbiting each other? We still look down on each other all because of tribes and ethnicities. We still look down on each other because of religious affiliations. We still look down on each other because of how fluent we are speaking some other person's language. We still look down on each other because of the color of our skin. Oh, I am lighter than you, so I'm better. I'm more marketable. How many men will tell you that they are looking for women who are light-skinned? Not because that is their taste, but because the mindset is sick. Willie Lynch syndrome. Today, my brother, my sister, we are going deep into issues. This show is called The Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kokoshonamo, where we speak truth to power, and we never take you for granted. Your time is very precious to us. We are live on YouTube, and our YouTube channel is Black Empire Media. Please subscribe to this channel. Encourage family and friends to also subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell, the notification bell, so each time we come on, you'll be the first to see us. We are supported by Is It. Is It simply means in spirit, in truth. What can you do with Is It? It's another beautiful, oh my God have mercy, another beautiful, and underline beautiful, and underline positive. Oh yes, it's unique. This is an app, social media app that everybody's talking about. Is your social media app beautiful? Is it positive? If not, if it's full of racism, violence, nudity, what are you waiting for? Jump ships and join us on Is It. With Is It, you can go live. You can make audio and video calls. At the same time, you can upload your videos and also photos. You will meet other positive-minded people online. Promote your business, promote your brand, and reach there. It's called Is It, not for fun. In spirit, in truth. Download this for free from Google Play and App Store. And this is an app that has been built by Ghanaian engineers in America. Join us on Is It. Let's build a big family and let us enjoy what is it that Is It has to give us. Oh my God. This is Is It. We are also supported by the kind courtesy of Lay Shrine. And when we talk about Lay Shrine, we are talking about that executive club located right there inside La at the La Boma Beach Resort. It's called Lay Shrine, not for nothing. There's a holy shrine surrounding the whole outfit, as you can see in the pictures. They have a beautiful mini hotel and a sexy swimming pool. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? Tell me, is it continental or local? What do you want to drink? Anything you want to drink is in the bar. And it's so beautiful. It's an African setting. Everything right here is African and beyond. What are you waiting for? And they're sitting right at the mouth of the Atlantic Ocean, being serenaded with the cool waters of the Atlantic Ocean and the sweet sea breeze. Come and enjoy the fullness of Lay Shrine. This is what it is. On Monday, we have what is known as the karaoke night and the adult night. Remember, it's X-rated entertainment. Don't go with your children. On Wednesday, we have the reggae night. Black Santino and friends will be booming reggae music on the beach, and everybody will be full jai in it. And then on Sunday, we have the special ladies night. It's also X-rated. Ladies, beautiful flowers, come on the beach from all walks of life, and they want to be able to meet up the right guy. Men come over. They want to be able to meet the right woman. This is your platform. What are you waiting for? It's the special ladies' night. Ladies come in for free, and men would have to pay something small. Oh my God, have mercy. Hey, this is Lay Shrine. You can have your private beach parties at Lay Shrine as well. Call Lay Shrine on 0203 5050 or 0204 5050 or 0205 5050 or 0206 5050. And that is what is on your screen. This is the Blackboard. And at Lake Shrine, there's one thing we'd always say. Anything you want to see, come and see it for yourself. My God, this is the Blackboard, aka Kokoshonomo, where we speak truth to power. Thank you for joining us. Remember to send your messages in. We're going to be reading your messages in 2 tranches. Make sure they come in. Come here! First story. I'm taking you to the American Embassy. Something is happening here. Watch me. U.S. Embassy to refuse more Ghanaians visas. U.S. Embassy to refuse more Ghanaians visas. This is the American boss. This was the man who was the ambassador of America to Ghana. His Excellency, Ambassador Jackson. This ambassador here has revealed a big secret that we all need to look at. He said, and that was in 2022, that Ghanaians are going to be refused visas over and over because of one reason. He also mentioned some other kind of Ghanaians who will not be qualified for visas. A lot of people are shocked. Many people have not opened their ears to this yet. Today I decided to look at this. Let me show you something small. Watch the headline. Watch it. It says, U.S. visa denials in sub-Saharan region concern stakeholders. And when you read it, you'll be shocked. It says, denial rates for US F1 visas reached a new high in Nigeria in 2022, with around 2 in 3 students being rejected, according to Associate Director of International Environment of Northeastern University, Salman Faraz. But what is the true story? Watch this. The 2022 Open Doors data indicate there were 14,438 Nigerian and 4,916 Ghanaian students in the U.S., up from 12,860 and 4,229 compared to 2021. Yet, according to Faraz, consular officers have often highlighted concerns over student finances, forged documents, missing strong ties to home country, and students not being well prepared for U.S. education. There are several issues that have long plagued students from the sub-Saharan region seeking to study abroad that industry leaders attribute to the high number of rejections. And this is what I want you to see now. The last paragraph. Former U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Robert Jackson, he's a man I met personally, said Ghana is among the top 5 countries whose citizens overstay visas in the U.S., despite being considerably smaller than the 4 other countries on the list. Dash this. I'm going to continue, but listen. What Robert Jackson is saying is very simple. He's saying that Ghanaians who travel to the U.S. overstay. The bombshell is yet to come. Run the story. Watch this. He claimed that because of the thousands of Ghanaians who did not return home after their U.S. visa expired, it makes it harder for others to get visas. I have been denied twice and it really hurts. One Ghanaian student confided with the pie. I have friends who have been denied 4 times, he added. The student said he wanted to remain anonymous because the rejections are embarrassing. Moreover, he still aims to apply again and was concerned about issuing a public statement. Dash it and come here. My brother, when you listen to the interview, Ambassador Robert Jackson said that Ghanaians who travel to the US, they have a higher rate of overstaying their visa and sometimes not even returning after the visa dies. And the shocking part is this. China, with all its population, Mexico, with all its population, they have fewer people than Ghana who overstay their visas. In other words, as compared to China, Ghana is the highest. A small country like Ghana, about 30 million people. Look at the population of China, about 1 trillion. Look at the population of Mexico. Yet, when we look at some of these things, it hurts. The number of Ghanaians who travel to America and overstay their visa or refuse to return, that number is higher than Chinese people, not percentage. Literal numbers, 1. For that matter, the American embassy has decided that, as you saw in the write-up, more and more Ghanaians are going to be refused visas. Another reason Ambassador Jackson gave, a lot of people go to the embassy and they do not have family ties, strong family ties to bring them home. For instance, they are not married, they don't have children. And if they are younger, it means that when they travel out, their chances of overstaying high. They want to find an American woman and stay. They want to find an American man and stay. They don't have anything to lose or come back to in Ghana, so they stay there. My brother, my sister, come here. When you look at some of these things, do not take that for granted. According to the ambassador, there are many people who are sick. And when they go to the embassy to try and fly out to America for treatment, they are refused. And a lot of them end up dying here. According to him, it's not the fault of the American embassy. It's because they do not qualify for the visa. Your sickness is not enough. Or else, there are people, I bet you, who will intentionally fall sick because they want an American visa. How many people believe that? There are people who will intentionally fall ill because they want an American visa. The fact that you are sick and the doctor says you are sick is not enough to give you an American visa. The big question we want to ask is that why is the American visa so attractive to Ghanaians? It's very simple. America is the land of opportunities. That's one. And two, our leaders have failed us. If one minister can load millions in her bedroom, millions of American dollars, this sends a bad signal to the Americans that the country is overly corrupt. At the time that you are running to the IMF and the World Bank, begging for money. Our leaders have failed us. We have all the gold, we have all the diamond, we have the bauxite. Yet, the country is still poor. Is it a curse? Why is it that our country is not planting the food that we must eat, but rather planting to feed the white man's kitchen? Cash crops, rubber, we don't eat rubber. Cocoa, we don't eat cocoa. All the cocoa we produce, they send it out to the white man. All the rubber, white man, all over Africa, not Ghana alone. All the gold, all the diamonds. How many Ghanaians wear gold? How many Ghanaians wear diamond? All the diamond and all the gold go out to the West. We are working to feed the West. And what the West does is that once we have these people feeding our industries, we might not need so much to go after those things. Let's go after the basic food. So they plant cereals and so on and so forth. So anytime you misbehave, they tell you that they are going to sanction you. They don't give you cereals. Look what happened in Russia. Wheat. Could you believe that wheat that Russia was supplying to the world came to a halt. Bread prices skyrocketed. One country. Is this going to teach us a lesson? When would Ghanaians say that, oh, the American visa is just like a visa to Togo? When will Ghanaians and Africans say that the American visa is just any other visa? When would the American embassy be begging us to come and get visas so we go to America? Go to the Togo embassy. Only goats and sheep are lying in front. Go to the Mali embassy. It's goats and sheep. Who wants to go to Mali? Who wants to go to Togo? Nobody. Yet, when you go to the American embassy, when it's raining fire, people are standing there. Any white man who comes passing by, they greet him as if he is a god. Because they believe that this person might be a diplomat or might be in there working in the visa section, and they might just go in and get a certain favor. It's all because our leaders have failed us. My brother, right now the American visa is equivalent to 100 hectares full of gold and diamond. People get the American visa and they sell everything they have here to relocate to America. People have big parties. People go to church to celebrate because they are traveling to America. Yet when they get the chance to go to Togo, nobody celebrates. They don't even tell anybody. When they are going to the Ivory Coast, they tell nobody. They walk in and walk out. How can we make our country more attractive? The leaders must have common sense. The dirty leaders who stash their bedrooms with millions of American dollars, yet drive the whole country to the IMF. And we have a dirty president who will sit back and say, oh, I know you'll be exonerated because you are a demigod. Better still, a demigoddess. When will we build our own factories? When will we produce the food that feeds us? The grains. When would we start doing that? Rather than concentrating on America and England to feed us. Are we not ashamed that we are always at the door of America and England and the West begging for food? Anytime there is hunger in the world, everybody looks up to Africa. Why is America never hungry? Why is it that Americans do not go out there in a hunger crisis and other countries come and donate food to America? I'm looking up to the day when Ghana will go to America and provide food aid to Americans. I'm looking up to the day when Ghana will go to America and give America free money. Ghana is capable of doing that because Ghana is richer than America. Ghana has gold, it has diamonds, it has bauxite, it has oil. We just discovered much more. Yet the more mineral resources we discover, the deeper we go into the pits of poverty. My brother, the Americans say they are tired of us. When we go to their country, we do not return. Especially the younger ones who are unmarried, they don't have children. If you want an American visa, make sure that you are married. Make sure that you have children. Make sure you have strong family ties that you will return to the country to. And again, the American embassy says, until this condition changes, more and more Ghanaians are going to be refused visas. I stay at home when my visa is about to expire. The American embassy calls me. Blakk RASTA, you ain't going to America anytime soon? And I said, well, I think I'm looking up to next year. But your visa is about to expire. You need to come over and change it. You know why? Because we keep a clean sheet. Because we try as much as possible to remain true to our land. We try as much as possible to be genuine. A word to the wise is enough. Next story, my youth. Next one we're looking at, it saddens me anytime I talk about visas. Embassies chase me to give me visas. Embassies chase me to give me visas. The last time I was in the UK, right there at the immigration, they said, you don't respect our country. You come into this country for 3 days and you leave this country. They searched all my things because this is what drug peddlers do. They go 2 days, they are out, they search, they only saw vegetarian food. Why don't you want to stay in this country? Say, well, I go in and come out. I travel and I'm a busy person, you know. I travel only once in a while. That's why you always hear me on radio. There are visas all over. But we are staying to build the country. It doesn't make me better than you. It only means that we need to come together and do more for our nation. There's no embassy I'll go to and they refuse me a visa by the grace of the Almighty. Because it will be very necessary for me to enter there. Unless it's for political reasons. Akufo-Addo sad at Ghana's unemployment rate. Akufo-Addo sad at Ghana unemployment rate. Who caused him? Now who caused him? Is he truly sad? Or is crocodile tears? Run the story, my youth. Akufo-Addo describes Ghana's unemployment rate as unacceptable. Run it. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has described Ghana's unemployment rate as unacceptable. Now, the unemployment rate in Ghana is expected to reach 5.00% by the end of 2023, according to Trading Economics Global Macro Models and Analyst expectations. In the long term, the Ghana unemployment rate is projected to trend around 4.70% in 2024 and 4.50% in 2025, according to our econometric models, Trading Economics said. President Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, while honoring some young men and women entrepreneurs in respect of the presidential pitch initiative on Friday, 18 August 2023, said that entrepreneurship is a vital component of economic growth and development and has been embraced globally as an important driver of economic transformation. I believe firmly that the fastest way to deal with the challenges confronting our country and the unacceptable rate of unemployment is the fusion of technology, entrepreneurship, and business. Governments the world over recognize youth entrepreneurship as the appropriate tool to address the unemployment challenges of our times. He added, this is why I am happy that under season 1, 2, and 3 of presidential pitch, 702 direct and thousands of indirect jobs have been created by our winners, with majority of these jobs being established in rural countries. Dash. Verbosity. This is what is called verbosity. Too much talk. My brother, there's serious unemployment in this country. All the youth are running away. Our youth are dying on the high seas. Some of them who have been lucky, and I put lucky in inverted commas, to be employed by Chinese, are paid as if they are playing with them, toying with them. Everything in this country is expatriate. Yes, expatriate. Go on the Spintex Road. Syrian shops, Lebanese shops, Chinese shops. Look all over. All the big companies are owned by expatriates. Whilst we are busily going out there to invite expatriates, foreigners to come and invest in our country, we are busily killing local businesses. That is where the pain is coming from. I have no problem if expatriates come in to invest in our country. But I have a huge problem where you are killing local businesses to make way for expatriate businesses. Look at the banks that were closed down. All the Ghanaian banks, gone. Except 1 or 2. How many people were rendered unemployed when the banks were melted down? One district, one factory was supposed to provide us with how many jobs? How many millions of jobs? How many have they been able to provide? My brother, planting for food and jobs. How many people have been employed? Can you tell me? These are the things that are killing us. And the youth get frustrated every day. Betting has become the commonest commodity, the commonest employment on our land. Everybody is betting now. Go out there. The youth know all the secrets of betting more than simple arithmetic, more than a simple grammatical sentence. The components in there. It's a sad thing. What is the inflation rate in Ghana? Almost 44%. Mali is what percent? Less than 10. Go to the Ivory Coast, less than 10. Go to Burkina Faso, less than 20. Yet these are the cool areas. The country that has not tasted any coup, ours is 44%. We have one of the highest inflationary tendencies in this country. In the whole of Africa. Yet our leaders claim that they have the men. The head of the economic team, finance minister, we have run to the IMF, yet inflation is 44%. You know why? There's more money in the system than products. Yesterday, I was driving and I started feeling that, well, I needed some coolant. Coolant that we used to buy for 60 cedis. When we went to buy the coolant, it was almost hitting whatever. I was shocked. When I'm so disappointed with price increases like this, I don't even want to keep them in my head and go crazy. Food prices are increasing. Bread prices are increasing. Because you have a president whose only way of making money is to print more money. All the youth are betting. University students are all betting. Their school fees they used to bet. And to make it worse, the University of Ghana here, 60% of all the students are Nigerians. Are you aware? 60% of all the University of Ghana students are Nigerians. In fact, I am so happy that they are not even Chinese. I am extremely happy that they are not even Americans. You know why? The Americans have their quality universities. The Chinese have their quality universities. Nigerians have a problem with education. They are all running down to Ghana to pick up quality education. That is the only plus. The sad thing is that Ghanaians who used to dominate, Nigerians were only about 5% in our universities in my days. Today, 60%. It means that Ghana is soon going to be like South Africa. Should I tell you more? Can I tell you more? Come here. When you go to South Africa, in their universities, only about 10% are South Africans. The average South African does not see education as very attractive. He wants to go and find some factory work. He wants to work here. He wants to work there. And when other people are coming into the country to also find employment, they have a problem with you. They will kill you, xenophobia. Go to South African universities. A lot of foreigners are in there. The average South African is not interested. Especially the black South Africans. Very soon, that is what is going to happen to Ghana. Educationally, you are so low. When people are talking intellectually, no, you are bet masters. You know everything about betting. At the age of 16, you are already looking for a job rather than going to school. This is going to be the new crop of youth we are going to be producing. So the president says, unemployment is so high and it's unacceptable. Who made it so? I wish Mr. President could just resign and say, I've failed. Are you not ashamed, Mr. President? What happened to your one district, one factory that was supposed to give us millions of jobs? You failed. And today you come back and tell us, oh, yo. You are printing money. That's a very cheap way of running an economy. How many of you studied economics in school? One of the ways you can deal with your economy is to print money cheaply, but it will bring you inflation. The Bank of Ghana is building a big edifice that will cost us 220 million. And it's supposed to carry, oh, Jesus have mercy. Anyway, my name is Blakk Rasta. When we return, we have more. We appreciate you. Keep your comments coming. Wayo!
Blackpot, Coco Show, man.
This is the Black Pot, aka Show them where we speak truth to power. Next story. The next story we are looking at is taking us to Mali, and it's going to break your heart. It's going to take us to Niger to break your heart. It's going to take us to Burkina Faso to break your heart. Togo, Benin, the Ivory Coast. Oh yes. Francophone Africa still pays colonial tax. Colonial tax. In Ghana, we paid land poll. We paid so many different taxes in the days. Since the white man left, a lot of those taxes gone. But in Francophone Africa, the countries that I mentioned and more, they still pay. Let me take you to The Guardian, and let's look at what The Guardian is saying about this. Run the story. This is the Mail and Guardian. It says, former French colonies are still paying a colonial tax. Run it. He says, 14 former French colonies in Africa pay a colonial tax amounting to about $500 billion. Did you hear that? $500 billion. And who did they pay to? France. These countries are Benin, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea, Mali, Niger, Senegal, Togo, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon. These countries have a combined population of 174 million and a nominal total GDP of 196 billion American dollars, with a purchasing power parity GDP of 411 billion American dollars. France has halted the colonization policy, but its economic colonization of these African states persists. A portion of the colony's budget continues to flow to the French Central Bank under various names and categories. This process allows France to appropriate about 85% of the former colony's annual income. Did you hear that? I interviewed the former French ambassador only 2 days ago, last Friday. And she told me that the 85% is not true. The Guardian is confirming it again. All the countries, 85% of all the money that comes to them goes to France. The reserves stay in the French banks. As a result, African countries face financial difficulties and have to borrow back their own money from the French Central Bank as debts. To reclaim their funds, African countries are limited to applying for no more than 20% of the transferred amount. I don't know who doesn't understand this. All the money that these Francophone countries get, they send 85% to France. And if they are broke, they are supposed to deal with just 15%. If they run out of money and they want their own money, France will tell them, we are giving you this money on loan. You pay commercial interest rates on this. Oh, yes, sir. Bonjour, monsieur. C'est bon. Oh, la la. They do it every time from the days of colonialism when they broke away. Did you see that? If they seek a larger transferred amount, they would have to pay interest rates for that. If they seek a larger sum, it can be vetoed. France argues that it is the money it's spent on buildings and infrastructure constructed more than a century ago. That's what France is saying. The tax we are getting from you is because of the buildings we constructed in your country using your own resources. Please, can you come with me? France comes to build things in the country, railways and all that, using the country's resources, the gold and the diamond and bauxite. When France is going, it says that because of these buildings that we built and put up, at the time we owned you. Can you believe that? We owned you. So everything we took from you is for us. So 85% of all the money you make, bring it to our banks. We shall also use our reserves to support your money so that it can stay there. But if you need a loan, we will loan you your own money with interest, commercial interest rates for the buildings and all that we did here. Remember that in Guinea, when Ahmed Sékou Touré said, no, France, leave, and France was going, it broke down and took almost everything that it brought, including buildings. They broke down the buildings and removed the window frames, removed everything, iron rods and everything, and took back to France. This might sound like a joke. Even gutters that they built, gutter, you know what they did? They poured concrete in it. Concrete, cement and stones and order to choke the gutters. That's what they did to Guinea. Warn other Francophone countries not to try and run for independence. Mali wanted it, but when Mali saw what they did there, can you believe this? We colonized you. Everything you had belonged to us. And we built this in your country. Now you want us to go. Okay, we shall go. But we'll go on condition that you give us 85% of everything you have. We'll keep it for you. Anytime you want it, we'll loan it to you and take. My brother, is this not colonialism? This is what they are fighting in Mali. This is what they are fighting in Burkina Faso. This is what they are fighting, my brother, my sister, in Niger. Yet because we are a people who were born to be misruled, because we are a people with no common sense after all the people with common sense that we had were taken into slavery, and the dumb ones were all left here, none of us is ready to break the chains of colonialism, especially the Francophone. They have been able to set the Anglophone and the Francophone apart. The Frenchman speaking French doesn't want to hear you speak English. You come into his country and you start speaking English, he wants to slap you and tell you speak French. Go to the borders and see. He starts speaking, oh, oh yes sir, please, I don't speak. Oh. The same people. Language is dividing us. Look at what is happening in Cameroon. The Anglophone people are fighting the Francophone. Francophone is fighting the Anglophone. And because the Anglophone has more power under Paul Biya, who is dying, he's hiding in some hospital, dying gradually. May he die quickly and go to hell. Such a dirty man. They are killing the Ambazonians right there in Cameroon, all because of the language. Colonialism played a huge role in the disunity of Africa. Because of the language we speak, we are in trouble. Keep your comments coming in. How can we break away from this? What Mali did is an example. What Burkina Faso did is an example. What Niger did is an example. But we don't support coups. The best thing we can do, the mindset. If you are able to change the mindset of the people will own their own country and rule the country the way it's supposed to be ruled. The Black Pot, aka Koko Show no more, where we speak truth to power. And we return, we shall read your messages. Wayo!
Are you in Accra? Are you looking for an experience that will live with you forever? Come with me to Lake Shrine, where you see anything you want to see. What do you want to eat, continental or local? Lake Shrine has a mini hotel fitted with a swimming pool that is so sexy and will leave you with a sweet experience. Lake Shrine has a nightclub, top of the class for VVIP and more. On Mondays, we have karaoke and adult parties. Wednesdays, reggae night. Sundays, special ladies night. We also have live reggae concerts at Lake Shrine. Anything you want to see, be here to see it yourself. We are located at La Boma Beach, where the Atlantic Ocean's water serenade Lake Shrine. Call us on 0203 5050 or 0204 5050 or 0205 5050 0206 5050. Visit our website at Lake Shrine and see more. Lake Shrine, anything you want to see, be here to see it yourself.
Go on, Skipper George. Blakk Pot, Koko Show no man.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka Koko Show no man. Thanks so much for sticking and staying with us. Send your messages in right now. We're going to read them. Run the messages. All right? All right. So Soleji Mawena is writing all the way from Togo. She's watching from Togo. She said, welcome, Black Rasta. Beautiful Monday. You are too much. More fire. Thank you, Soleji Mawena. Ekene Okoli says, Black Rasta, we thank God for another new week. Francis Ampim says, good evening, Black Rasta. It's a brand new evening. Yes, brand new week. Evening and more fire. It says, no one is bigger than the truth. Peter Nketia says, Nketia Pierrot, Black, may God bless you and bless you too. Quota Joseph says, Rasta, fire. Jata says, fire. Amanda Shevchenko says, Dada, honestly speaking, I don't know what's really going through the mindset of our youth. Why would you refuse building up your own very nation and run go build somebody else's? I agree with you. The leaders sometimes push us to do that. It's sad. Amanda Shevchenko says, Dada, please remember back in the slavery time, the slave raiders helped the white man to choose healthy, energized, strong, exuberant slaves. Now the embassies are the slave raiders. They choose the best. Well, I agree with you. Even the American visa lottery, if you win it, they will run a test on you. If you're a drunkard, you will stay in your country and destroy your country. If you're a heavy smoker, stay there. If you don't have a job or an expertise, a certain vocation, you are a tailor, you are a mason, electrician, you will stay. They don't want you to be a burden on the American continent. It's another way of brain drain. I made a song in 1999, American Visa Lotto. Before you go to bed, think of Africa. I can't remember the lyrics, but it goes like that. 1999. Released in 2000. If you win the American lottery, The doctor will test you if you drink alcohol. You're a drunkard. Stay back. You smoke heavily. Stay back. If you have any terminal illness, you have to stay. Amanda Shevchenko still is talking. He says, and lead them to their country to do the same old thing. They have never chosen old men, crippled people, disabled people to their country. Never. We should wake up. Benjamin Kwanzaa says, come here. Please, Blakk Rasta, I want to ask you a question. During Kwame Nkrumah's regime, did a lot of people want to travel outside Ghana to seek greener pastures? If no, what has changed? No. Every year the number increases. In Nkrumah's days, it was slower. People who traveled there only went there to study. It's because of bad leadership, poor economic conditions, and so on and so forth. Remember in Nkrumah's days, he was even encouraging us to have more children. So we have more labor in the country. There was absolutely no unemployment. Fenway Inc. says, come here, run it, my youth. Hey, my black brethren, I love you. I love you too. Beta Bless says, good evening, Father, welcome. We can't wait to enjoy your preaching. In fact, the time, dear, then for do something about it. It's too small. African history class really touched me today. Okay, well, he's talking about the radio show, African history class. Well, the time, all right, we'll see what we can do. Jata says fire. AC says, Blakk, I just like your voice. Keep up the good work. Patriotism is a Ghanaian problem, and I think patriotism should be part of our school curriculum. Yes, civics. I've said it time and again. Stephen Banda says, thank God it's Monday. Blakk, I am listening to you live from Bloemfontein in South Africa. I can't miss the show with my family for anything. Blakk, thanks for the truth you have been speaking. I'm always learning from you, and I'm learning from you too. Blessed love and respect. Stephen Banda says, come here. Petrina Otu says, greetings, Blakk Rasta. The thing say the day wise. Come here. Dash it away. Jata is smiling, and he says, Sado. Fadi El Abiab. Fadi El Abiad. He says, when Ghana had like stone, who will come back? Understand you, but who may come hard? But sometimes the citizens too must sacrifice. But there's a kind of sacrifice you cannot go beyond a certain point. You all understand, right? Gamelia Pasu says, Blakk, welcome, come here, and roll the story. AC says, my Mexican brothers can jump that wall back into the USA. So some of them wouldn't mind going back to Mexico if their visas expired or deported. But for our GH brothers, it's another story. I know what you're talking about. That's why Trump wanted to build that wall. And they turned it into a tourist attraction. You know what they said? See, the fun side of Trump's wall, the fun side of Trump's wall is called Mexico. You see? Jata says facts. And it says failure leaders. Yes, they are failed leaders. Using money that can develop a town to build just a bank. Oh my God. Beta Bless says, Blakk Rasta, do you still think we own shares in these minerals you are mentioning? The reason for all this is because we don't take serious in protecting, we are not serious in protecting our heritage, right? You are right. In fact, some of our biggest mines, we own nothing. Yes. Mm-hmm. Jata says aimless leaders, and Beta Bless GH says we don't even have factories to process all these minerals, and that the white men will come for them and then process them and come make money in our country. Oh yes, I understand what you're trying to say. We can't even pay our duty when we ship our cars. Keep your messages coming in. We shall read the second batch before we go. Next story. Run it, my youth. We have 2 more stories to go. Yeah. And remember to keep sharing the broadcast. OSAFO MAAFO CRIES for Ghana education. Who is he? Who is OSAFO MAAFO? They call him the senior minister At the same time, now he is the senior advisor to the president. It's sad that people like this are those who are advising the president. He hasn't even advised himself enough. He has filled big posts, including a japa with his own sons and daughters. This man. This was the man who decided that Aisha Wang did not need to be punished because of economic benefits. So more Chinese people are here, destroying our land with impunity. This is the same OSAFO MAAFO, who, my brother, my sister, took us to HIPIC, and he boasted about it, and that he will take us out of HIPIC. This is the man. He's the man, the best man to advise the president of this nation. It hurts me. These are the guys who don't make old age attractive. They don't make gray hair attractive, these guys. It's sad. I'm speaking for my children. I'm speaking. Hey, in some countries when you're having gray hair, it's beautiful. People are coming around you for wisdom. Not here. But OSAFO MAAFO has said something this time around, which makes a lot of sense. Run the story. He says high unemployment is a security threat. Of course. The coups happening in Mali and the rest is because of unemployment and the rest. So he's saying it. That the man he's advising might be along the line. Next in line. So he's crying, hey, unemployment too. He's advised the president to also go out and say, hey, unemployment, we are dealing with it. To save their necks. Run the story. But he said something in here that I'm so interested in. Senior presidential advisor to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Yao OSAFO MAAFO, says the high rate of graduate unemployment in Ghana is scary and becoming a national security threat. You're not building factories, you are building cathedrals. You are building the BOG. Why would unemployment not increase? Look at these jokers in power. He blamed the situation on the education system, which has departed from hands-on skills training to theory-based. That's all I want. He says our educational system has departed from hands, to, oh, yeah, 2x plus 6 minus square root of this is called. That's what he's saying. So we should go back to school and work things out. Get back to that story. How does OSAFO MAAFO want to do it? Watch. Anytime I look at the tertiary education, I become nervous. When I was a minister of education, there were 5 or 4 universities belonging to the government and 1 private. But as I speak, we have 95 universities, almost 100 training people, but no hand-on skills. Fundamentally, very few will come out with hand-on skills. So what is going to happen is scary. We need to do some serious retrospection about the education system. Next page. Watch this one. The senior presidential advisory said he is not comfortable how universities, almost all universities in Ghana, continue to offer humanity courses rather than technical programs. I'm very uncomfortable about what I am seeing from tertiary education system and the outcome on the employment arising out of the educational system. You can't go from 5 to about 100 universities in just about 15 years. And none of the universities is technical. We have converted all our polytechnics into universities. The reason I don't understand. We had polytechnics which were doing far more humanity subjects than even technical subjects. And as a minister for education, I invited all the polytechnics and wanted to question why they were doing certain courses. When I went through the exercise with them, I withdrew my complaint because this was what was happening. All those who have done very well in maths and science want to do engineering and science and medicine. Dash it away. So what the senior minister is saying that is that we have to use our hands. Technical courses. Yes, that's very true. Theory alone is nothing. Theory is nothing. You let the theory fine, you come and rat. Can you go to space with your theory? You need the theory and the practical combined, right? But he is, when you read that story further, he says he is asking the churches to join hands with the schools to be able to formulate a better educational system. Oh my God. Do you remember when I mentioned it here on this show? That if the churches, every church service, after the Lord's Prayer and all that, they will let everybody recite the national anthem and get to understand it properly. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong, bold to defend forever the cause of freedom and of right. Fill our hearts with true humility. Fill us with true humility. Make us cherish fearless honesty. Hallelujah. Oh, Jesus. Listen to it again. Fill us with true humility. Make us cherish fearless honesty. Oh, Jesus. Make us cherish Mayendo fearless honesty. How do you say honesty in Tree? Fearless honesty. Brutal honesty. Let us love honesty. And if this country was even 5% honest, we would be heaven. No honesty. Wallahi, I've been got 20 Ghana shish. Allah ko kaban day 25. Meanwhile, he bought it at 2 cedis. He's selling it to you at 25. And he's swearing, wallahi, 20 cedis. After that, you go, Allah Akbar. Spray. Oh, I swear, you know, thou shalt not swear. But this thing here is the best on the market. I bought it for 50 cedis, but you take it for 55. Meanwhile, he bought it for 5 cedis. He's bringing the Holy Spirit and Holy Ghost to cheat people. No honesty. If we understood the national anthem, the pledge properly, and followed the words, we'll be better off. OSAFO MAAFO says the church and the state must come together to deal with that. There's a lot of miseducation in the churches. Religion is killing us. That's the point OSAFO MAAFO is making. But who is going to trust him and believe him? After Aisha Huang, after Hipik and all that. He doesn't have the track record. But he's speaking the truth. Dash it and bring me the last story. I'm going to spend just about 4 minutes on this and I'll be done. Watch it. CECILIA, DAPAAH'S cash exposes leaders. There's a man of God in the church who is angry. Come here. Think say they wise. This is a man of God. He's not a little boy who is grown. You all know him, don't you? He preaches, Papa. CECILIA, DAPAAH'S cash exposes leaders. Which leaders? CECILIA, DAPAAH'S saga, Akufo-Addo, Mahama, Baumia, Alan Cash, Kenneth Japan are hypocrites. Man of God fumes. Run the story. General Overseer of World Palace International in Accra, Apostle Chief Adair, has descended heavily on politicians and government appointees in the country over the wastage of resources that has contributed to the unbridled hardship currently being experienced. To him, they have no love for the country per their actions and only confess to do so by mouth. The apostle, in a sermon on Sunday, August 13, 2023, entitled The Other Side of One, which touched on the significance of not wasting time, money, and resources. That's it. The apostle could not be far from the truth. All these leaders, in one way or the other, have let us down. In Muhammad's time, corruption. We were angry with him, we removed him and brought in an angel, a big-headed angel with no wings. He came here with a pot belly, swallowed everything to the pot belly. Alan Cash, you served under this dirty government. run down the whole government, and you come and tell us you want change. Hypocrites. Try and redeem yourselves. Canada, Japan. When you hear him making so much noise, it's because his party didn't give him his 10%. For him to go and do his job and make money, they are not giving, so he's mad. He's angry. Look at this money stolen. And Nana Akufo-Addo says she will be exonerated. Sometimes I wish this was Mali. Honestly. Sometimes I wish it was Burkina. Sometimes I wish it was Niger. But to God be the glory. It's been the Blakk Pot, aka Kokushonomo. And here we speak truth to power. Bring the stories. We have some messages coming in. Jata says, people that have no land, good weather, feeding Africa. Oh yes, they have no land, they have no good weather, they have nothing, and yet they are feeding us. Those are the people. Ray says, watching you from London live. I pray for a long life for you, my brother. Tina Ray, thank you so much. Vita Bless says, Ghana has all the necessary rich minerals, but yet our leaders are senseless and can't put these things into proper use. And one thing, Black Rasta, the truth is our leaders and patriotic. That's true. Quota, Joseph says, is crocodile tears. Okay, I agree with you. Olivius Nwinzi says, when all African leaders come together and form one strong currency in order to put an end to this foolishness, when will they do that? She's asking. You're right, Olivius. Nuhu Muhammad Abdallah says, Europe work structure payment of workers good, but Africa, you work from 6 to 6 payment, not convincing. Yes, we have to start paying people by the number of hours they work in the factories. Somebody goes for 1 hour and is paid like the person who has done 10 hours. It will work. Show productivity before you are paid. Nate Oko Aklebeto says, Black Rasta, by God's grace, I have had the opportunity to travel to 3 countries, and I sometimes weep when I watch back to Ghana after having all resources, but yet we are poor. Mansuru Yunusa says, Black Rasta, even ordinary laborers in the farm are taking 1,500 euro from Alicante. And of course, we spend a lot on gas. You spend a lot on traveling. That's travel, commuting, and you spend more. I know that you'll be able to live a decent life there, but still remember that we need all hands on deck to save our motherland from this disgrace. Disheba says, good afternoon, Black Rasta, watching from Maryland, and keep up the good job. I will. Osajefo Duabel says, ratatatata to the bongo clippings. Blessed love, respect. Kamali Apasu says, Black, the price increase in Ghana is ridiculous. Every week or month, I have to over budget just to catch up with the price increases. Very sad. I know what you mean, Kameli. James Mauli Sapo says, greetings, big bro. Much love. Keep up the good job. Much love from Nairobi, Kenya. Oh, big up Kenya. Big up Kenya. Big up Kenya. We love you, Kenya. Duabil Ibrahim says, Black Rasta more fire. Tijani Gang. My God says, good evening, my Godfather, and keep the fire burning. Aki Ita, all the way from Jamaica, based right there in Connecticut. Hartford to be specific. It's all the way from Jamaica. He says, remembering that in Nkrumah's time also, he says, remember that in Nkrumah's time also, that many intellectuals were moving to Ghana. Oh yes, that's true. When Nkrumah was here, many more people were moving from America and other places to Ghana. Can you believe that? Thank you, Aki Ita, for that wonderful one. Beta Bless Ghana says, did he say economic purpose in the name of Aisha Huang? What has the country gained from that? Well, he says there's something called what? Sino Hydro. They are building some roads for us, so that's for not jailing Aisha Huang. Karim Sadat Aduku says, good evening, Black Rasta. The world is full of youth with smiling faces but wounded hearts. You're right. Advice says, please, why is ECOWAS delaying to enter Niger? We are tired of hearing ranting and meetings. I don't think they are going to enter after all because nobody's supporting them. No soldier will go there and risk his life because of America and France's greedy moves. Nah. But my name is Black Rasta. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Tomorrow we'll be here again at 5 p.m. on the dot. We'll rock it all the way till 6. I appreciate you and I love you. We never take you for granted. We love you. America, England, Japan, Asia, all over the globe. We love you and we appreciate you. Remember to take our numbers and do business with us. We love you. Wayo!